Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how the Care Connect web application works. This is my third project, and the purpose of this project is to be able to register persons with disabilities so that they can access different resources and get donations, as well as get assistance in any way they can. So for the project, I use React plus Vite to build the front end, and the backend I built using Python, UVCon, and Fast API. So for the front end, what you want to do once you have forked and cloned the project to your local machine, navigate to the front end, and then to run the front end, you simply use the command npm run dev. This will activate your front end so that you can be able to access it using this address in your web browser. In this case, I am using Chrome web browser, and as you can see, the front end has loaded, and this is the home page. You can navigate using the navigation bar. As you can see, I can navigate to the home, about us. I can also navigate back to the home, as well as clicking on Care Connect logo. You can navigate back to the home page. The check status of Care Connect database button will give you access to a status page that will show you how the backend server is, whether it is active, and the kind of latency that you have at the moment. In this case, it does not work because I have to be connected to the internet for this page to load, but it does work. The register us now button is a call to action button that navigates to a new page where you have a form and a section of registered persons. So this form will enable you to add a new person. Under it, there is a button add person. So once you have populated the form with the data that you want to add, you simply click the button, and then what this form does, the form persists the data to the backend database, and then it will display the data that you have persisted. So it displays a list of all the persons that have been registered in the system. In the footer, you also have a check status of Care Connect database button, which does the same thing as the one above here. To activate the backend, what you need to do is navigate to your backend directory, and then ensure to activate your virtual environment using pip-env shell, because that is what I used to build the project. So once you have activate the virtual environment, you simply run fast API dev to activate your backend server in development mode. But you can also run fast API run to activate your server in production mode. Once I activate my server, you will notice that when I refresh this user registration page, the users should be displayed. In this case, what happens is, let me navigate back to home, then come back to register user. Yes, you'll notice that once I have activated the backend server, the list of registered users that are already in the database is populated. So in this list, I have two buttons. I have a delete button, and I have a view resources and details button. When I click a view resources and details button, it loads for me a model that contains all the details of the user, and also another form in the bottom where you can add a resource to the person. So I have not integrated any validation rules, so it will accept any sort of data that you provide it. But in future, I plan to add validation to ensure that there is data integrity within the application. This is just a minimum viable product, and it is used to show the idea itself. So when I click on the delete button, it deletes a person. In the add a new person form, I can simply add a new person here. So since I have not added any validation rules to this form, it will accept any kind of data that you provide it. In this case, I'm just going to provide some random data, and you can see automatically it populates the new person in the registered persons list. As well as populating this data in this list in the front end, what the form has done, when I click the add person button, it has persisted the data to the backend. To be able to view the data, you can simply navigate to the API endpoint of the database in the address 127.0.0.1:8000, which is port 8000, and then you can view the data. So I have to access the root of persons, which will access the persons table and provide me with the data that is available in the database. I can also navigate to a specific user by simply adding the user ID. So in this case, I have a user with ID, a person with ID 4, this one, so I can add 4 there, and it will navigate to that single person. And also you can see it is showing a list of resources within this user, this person instance. So what the relationship that I have used for this instance is a one-to-many relationship, where one person can have many resources. If I want to view just the resources of that single person, I simply add a new route at the end called resources. And this will populate for me data relating to user the person of ID 4. This populates resources data relating to person of ID 4, and that is how I can access the backend and view the API endpoint and see the data that is available in the database. When I go back to the root endpoint, it showed me a default not found, which I have set this so that it can be able to just for a test, and that is what I have used for the backend. For the backend, I used Python and Fast API, as well as UVCon to be able to run the backend server. And this is my Care Connect web application frontend. So the front end is communicating with the backend, and this I am running in my local machine, but currently the project is also deployed. The front end I have deployed in Vercel, the backend I have deployed in Render. So you can check out my GitHub, which I will provide as a link below the video, and you can see the project. You can also download the code and test out the project yourself in your local machine. Thank you very much. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel.